Recognizes the gentlelady from North Carolina, Ms. Foxx, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, today I rise in celebration of Constitution Day this upcoming week. On September 17, 231 years ago, 39 patriots signed their names to a document that changed the course of history. This document chartered a lasting experiment in democracy and put our nation on the path of becoming the world's strongest and greatest in the history of the world. Since 1789, the Constitution has served as our country's legal foundation. Its wisdom is timeless, and just as George Washington called the Constitution the guide he would never abandon, we should not abandon the brilliance of our founders' intent. The Constitution establishes the United States of America as a nation of laws where the government derives its limited powers from we the people, the consenting governed. Those words, I believe, Mr. Speaker, are the most important words outside our Bible. Thanks to the foresight of the Constitution's framers and their understanding of government overreach and human nature, we have an abiding document that checks the power of the federal government and protects the rights of individual citizens. What has happened with our government, though, is that it is expanded in such a manner that it flips the Constitution on its head. Let's take a look at Articles 1 through 3, which outline the powers of each branch of government. In this pocket copy of the Constitution, Article 1 is 8 pages, but it is by far the longest of the articles, detailing the powers of the Congress. Article 2 is only 3 pages, outlining the powers of the executive branch. Article 3 is only a half page and establishes the limited powers of the judicial branch. Now what has happened is that the relative power of each branch is completely inverted. The power to write the law and thereby represent the will of the people has been diminished by both the executive and judicial branches. The judicial branch seeks to write the law through its power of interpretation and setting precedent. The judicial branch has become an instrument for activists to pass agendas that could not be accomplished by passing laws in Congress because they lack the support of the majority of people in the country. Rather than serving as the least powerful branch of government that acts as a check, the judicial branch has taken the power delegated to Congress and become a much more powerful branch than ever intended. The executive branch has promulgated rules which have the force of law and have prevented the lawmaking process of Article 1, thwarting, again, the grand design of the Constitution. These trends must stop and the Constitution plan reasserted. The judicial branch has become an instrument for the Constitution is genius in its brevity, in its endurance, and in its forethought to limit and separate the governing powers established therein. It is an honor for me and a sacred duty to protect and uphold the Constitution in representing the people of the 5th District here in this Congress. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Pursuant to Clause 12.